вчера вещь пошла.
Oh, sorry. I'm listening here to the album of the soundtrack of a movie called The Gypsy Camp Vanishes into the Blue. It's a Russian movie from the 70s. I found this copy of the Soviet Russian album at some sort of flea market in Luleå around maybe 16-20 years ago. I bought it because I was just curious, and of course it cost nothing. And today I'm quite happy that I did actually buy it, because it's an album that's not really easy to find. And the music is by composer Yevgeny Doga, and I'm very fond of this lovely Russian gypsy vocals and wonderful music. Although I have to say I've never ever seen the movie, but I'm very fond of the music here. If I saw the movie, I would probably need some sort of subtitles, because I guess it will all be in Russian. But I have to say I really enjoy this music, and if you ever find this album somewhere, which is probably not that incredibly likely unless you're in Russia, get hold of it and listen to it. If you like gypsy-like vocal singing from Russia, then this is for you. This is one of my 10 popular, or 10 most 10 this is one. I picked out my 10 favorite soundtrack albums here on vinyl, and I'm not going to show them in any particular order, and I won't say which is my absolute favorite, because I don't really know. But this is one of them. The Gypsy Camp Vanishes into the Blue on the Melodia label, made in USSR. Right. Another soundtrack that I'm quite fond of. I've actually seen this movie, but and the movie is really weird, and not to mention the music is really weird. The the movie is made by Peter Greenaway, and well, you know Peter Greenaway as a filmmaker, not always that easy to understand, but this is a odd movie and some really odd music. Z and Two Noughts, with like the aggressive string number and Angelfish Decay that almost hurts a bit to listen to, but still it's very, very good. I don't know really what more to say. I'm a great fan of both Peter Greenaway's movies, and this movie in particular, and even more so the soundtrack, Z and Two Noughts. Although, if your stomach is a bit easily upset and you have problems with watching animals decay in high speed, then you should give this a miss. Right, haven't really revealed too much. One of my favorite movies, comedy movies, because it's both very funny and still very beautiful, is Young Frankenstein. Well, Gene Wilder passed away some days ago, which was very sad. And this, I think, is my favorite movie with him anyway. And also, the music is wonderful, very atmospheric, especially this violin theme that keeps appearing now and then. Da, 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 da. Very beautiful. And this record both has a music from the movie and also short clips of dialogue, so it's very nice to have. I have this on DVD as well, which of course you should, or Blu-ray or whatever. Another movie that I think the movie is all right, but I'm more fond of the music and than the actual movie is The Sting, because it's the music of Scott Joplin in a very nice treatment by Marvin Hamlish, and of course this had a big hit with the Entertainer, but there are many lovely arrangements of Solace and Easy Winners and Hooker's Hooker and Pineapple Rag, and I have a soft spot for well played old music from the early 20th century, late 19th century, and for a couple of years there was a bit of a ragtime rebirth, interest for it, at least in the 1970s, due to this movie. Although I think the actual movie takes place in the 1920s, and by then ragtime would really be a bit dated, or quite dated. It's like making a movie about the 1990s and playing disco music all through it. But never mind. Great music, great compositions by Scott Joplin, of course, about very nice adaptations by Marvin Hamlish. Well done. Okay, over to another movie. I'm very fond of this movie, and also the music and the fact that it woke up a bit of an interest about American roots music around the year 2000. I'm talking about the Coen brothers, "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?" With some great versions of I Am a Man of Constant Sorrow, and we got Alison Krauss, Gillian Welch, Norman Blake, Stanley Brothers, a wonderful soundtrack on 2 albums, I also very fond of the movie. I think it's hilarious, but especially the music. Over to another movie that I really truly love, and I think there are many others in Sweden who love them. Maybe not the movie journalists and movie reviewers, they aren't too keen on this, but it's very popular, and I'm talking about the movies by the Swedish filmmaker and comedian Lasse Åberg, and I'm talking about the first one, Sällskapsresan, that I think was released in 1980, and the music played on that on the soundtrack album is by Bengt Palmers and some of his friends. Great fun movie, one of the best Swedish comedies ever made in my book. The funny thing is that this soundtrack didn't really sell that well. It wasn't really as popular as the actual movie, and I think that's a pity, because it's a lovely music that really catches the feel of Swedes going abroad to Spain for a sunny holiday, and we got lots of samba here, because one of the roles, one of the characters in the movie, he had this big tape recorder, or boombox, as they were a bit of a the latest thing back in 1980, this boombox playing samba music all the time. So he needed lots of samba music, and that ended up on this album. So not that easy to get a hold of, but very good. Also, another record that's not that easy to get hold of on vinyl. Well, I've tried. I've only found this. I've only found this picture disc, which isn't in the best quality. You know what picture discs are, so it's very nice looking, but not as good sounding as I wish it was sounding. I would like to have this on a more regular vinyl issue. I have it on CD. I got it on CD when it was issued, a beautiful movie. I didn't think that I would like this movie by Quentin Tarantino, Kill Bill, but because I'm not really into violent stuff, but it's like a cartoon violence. It's I think it's beautifully done with lots of humor and very, could you say, visual style, very artistic style even. Maybe, yeah. I'm not an expert on movies or movie styles, but also I like the music from the first track, Bang Bang, with Nancy Sinatra. We got Woohoo by the 5, 6, 7, 8s and stuff like that. We got The Lonely Shepherd by George Samfield. And very nice movie with a very nice soundtrack. But I would like it on a regular vinyl instead of this. Or not instead of this, I would put it up on the wall if I had it on regular vinyl. Okay, over to the next one. This is a quadruple album. I'm Not Here, the movie that, well, it's very loosely based on the life of Bob Dylan. With lots of great music, lots of great interpretations of the music of Bob Dylan. My favorite here is Tombstone Blues by Richie Havens, but there are many other great Bob Dylan songs on this album with different artists. And the movie it's good. It's a bit weird. You don't really get all of it at once. You need a couple of times to really see it and understand everything. At least I did. But well worth watching many times and well worth listening to. Okay, I've only got 2 ones left now. Yeah, talk about violent movies. As I said, I'm not really into violent movies, but this is another one that I think is very good because it is also done in a visual style that works also by mixing it with the music. The music plays a very important role here. I'm showing it slowly, but I'm sure many of you saw from the instance what it was. It's Stanley Kubrick's Clockwork Orange, with music by Walter Carlos. This was on Warner Brothers synthesizer music, Moog music, playing classical music on the synthesizer, probably very inspired by the switched on Bach records that Walter Carlos, or Wendy Carlos as he would later call himself or herself, made. This is the movie is great and the album soundtrack is also superb. And then finally, not sure if it's really my favorite of all time, but it's a movie that's I have some very nice memories to. It's Cabaret. I've showed it before in this channel. I'm sure I've showed it more than once. The music from the Bob Fosse movie with Liza Minnelli, of course, and Michael York and Joel Grey. When I was a teenager, I was studying theater with my fellow students. We had a theater course, and our final project would be to set up Cabaret. We were both inspired by the play and the movie, and picked music, and I'm very fond of the music on this album. All of it is great, and great arrangements by Ralph Burns. And I remember 2 years later when we had a reunion, me and my old school fellows in 1994. We were at the home of our teacher Harry Nyman, and we sat in one of the bedrooms where there was a record player, and they played this album there. yeah, they played it so loud that we got a feedback in the speaker, so we had to turn it off. But I remember, yeah, we talked about good old times. Well, times, things that happened just a couple of years earlier. But you know, when you're young, you don't have that much time to talk about. And listening to this one, and yeah, I get a warm feeling in my heart. And also, it's a great, well, it's a great book. First of all, it's a great play, and it's a great musical, and it's a great movie. So, and this, of course, then is a great soundtrack. Right. Well, I think that's all about these 10 soundtracks that I picked to talk about today. I hope you found it somewhat interesting, and I thank you for watching, and have a good day.